Activities marking 2018 Hajj commence today with standing on Arafat.
Inspector General orders massive deployment of police personnel to ensure hitch-free Eid al-Kabir celebrations.
Presidency refutes accusations over delay in approving INEC budget.
On Good Morning Nigeria today, we shall take a look at how to revive eastern seaports in Nigeria.
Hello, it's nice to be with you again on this great program that links you up with the current happenings. Nigeria, no doubt, is blessed with a number of seaports located in the southwest and southeastern parts of the country.
Now, these seaports include those at Apapa, Tin Can, Calabar, Port Harcourt, Warri, Onne, and Koko.
Yes, Kingsley, but over the years, most of these ports have been underutilized, thereby causing congestion and traffic logjam in the Lagos ports.
Now, the situation has prompted key players in the transport sector to canvass the revival of other seaports in the country, especially those on the eastern seaboard, which appear to have been abandoned or otherwise neglected.
Reports indicate that 60% of the imports to West Africa are destined to Nigeria. But what really gets to the nation's seaports is only 10%.
Now, the reports say that a substantial amount of the cargoes are offloaded in neighboring ports, that is at Cotonou and other West African countries, before transshipping them to Nigeria through land borders.
You are right. And the reason given for this diversion is that the seaport in Apapa and Tin Can are enormously overwhelmed.
So, one question to ask is, why do most Nigerian importers prefer, on the one hand, to use neighboring seaports for their imports, and on the other, why is there so much concentration of cargo at the Lagos ports, and why are we therefore not taking advantage of the multiple blessings with regard to other seaports available in the country, especially on the eastern seaboard?
And what kind of incentives should Nigerian government give to attract more Nigerian importers to utilize eastern ports? These and some are some of the points we shall be discussing in reviving the eastern seaports in this edition of Good Morning Nigeria. But first, let's take the day's news. I am Femi Okewu. Thank you for being part of this program.
All right, Femi, just before we bring in our colleague Kenny to give us the highlights of the morning news, we'd just like to inform our viewers that we have a number of complimentary segments, as always, and this will include newspaper review, business, sports, foreign, and others. And again, just as a by-the-way comment, the governor of Lagos State was in Abuja nearly a fortnight ago, and he gave a lecture, and he was saying, listen, you know, it's time has come for the proper utilization of other seaports in the country. And this is on account of the intractable traffic congestion in and around the Lagos area on account of the over-reliance on the two major ports in that location, namely the Apapa port and then the Tin Can port. All kinds of measures that have been taken in the past to clear the traffic, you know, those measures have ended up being just palliatives.
These things have started to pile over years, over months actually. It's nice to know that efforts are being made to address that situation now.
All right, so let's take the highlights of the morning news with Kende Olaleye. Kende, I hope you had a nice weekend. I doubt if you had time to watch last night's final at Cincinnati involving Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic. Of course, Novak Djokovic thrashed Roger Federer in straight sets, 4-4, and set a record of winning all titles available on the Masters Tour. Did you watch it?
No, I didn't get time to watch. Good morning, Kingsley and Femi. Welcome to the news. About 2 million pilgrims from across the world and within the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia are to attend the Arafat, one of the fundamental components of the fifth pillar of Islam. Hajj, the Arafat sermon and rite will commence at about 9 a.m. Nigerian time. About 60,000 Nigerian pilgrims are taking part. Saudi authorities have pledged of each free Hajj and have provided state-of-the-art facilities to ease performing the rite, as well as put in place a strong security architecture to safeguard pilgrims. To ensure a hitch-free Eid al-Kabir celebration, the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, has directed the implementation of robust and elaborate security arrangements throughout the country. A statement issued by the acting DCP, Jima Moshood Force PRO, says that the Assistant Inspector General of Police and Commissioners of Police in zonal and state commands nationwide are to be on ground to beef up security and carry out massive deployment of police personnel on police visibility patrols, crowd control and adequate protection and safety at all Eid praying ground and other venues of celebration in their areas of responsibility. The deployment will also cover recreation centers, public places and critical infrastructure and public utilities. Federal Highway Patrol teams, the Safer Highway Patrol Unit and anti-crime patrols have been deployed along highways and major roads throughout the country for the protection and safety of travelers, commuters and other road users during the period and beyond. The statement said the personnel are under strict instruction to be civil, polite, compassionate and firm in carrying out their duties. A nation with entrepreneurship-oriented youth would not only grow the economy, but will go a long way in addressing youth restiveness and unemployment. Speaker House of Representatives Yakubu Dogara stated this at the Redeemed Christian Church of God Teens Career Conference in Abuja.
When we talk about careers, we're talking about that thing that you will do in which you are comfortable, that thing that will bring out the base in you for you to release that talent that God has given to you.
It's a vision about the future. You have it as a mindset, and it is something that you're programming for the future, years to come.
The Nigerian Air Force Task Force of Operation Diramikia has successfully identified and degraded several hideouts over notorious bandit kingpin. A statement by the Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Ibikunle Daramala, indicates that the attacks, which was executed with support of ground troops in Sector 2 of Operation Sharandaji, were carried out based on credible intelligence that the kingpin and his group were using an abandoned primary school and makeshift settlement in nearby Rogo Forest in Zamfara State. Following a further confirmatory intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance mission, the Air Task Force and dispatched two combat helicopters to attack the location, with battle damage assessments conducted, confirming collateral damage on the kingpin's hideout. The Air Task Force says it will continue to dominate the area through and reconnaissance and air indication mission to completely demonstrate the bandit towards ensuring normalcy is returned to the affected areas in Zamfara State. The presidency has refuted allegation by Senator Bukola Saraki that the President Muhammadu Buhari is to blame for the delay in approving the supplementary budget for INEC. A statement by Garba Shehu, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, says the Senate President should look into the mirror and what he will say is his face as he says it is not true that INEC submitted the draft budget to the presidency in February. The statement said the fact that the proposal came a while after the president had laid his budget for the 2018 before the National Assembly meant that of INEC be sent as supplementary budget. This was clearly stated to them by the Minister of Budget and National Planning. Religious bodies have been advised to be involved in social and humanitarian service in the society to further boost effort of government in providing succor to the people. This was part of advocacy to mark a World Humanitarian Day.
Let the church rise up and do exactly what Jesus did. Jesus did not only preach the dry gospel, he gave them the gospel, he gave them food, he healed them.
And Jesus himself says that the last judgment will be to ask us whether we visited him in prison or helped him as sick or clothed him as naked or assisted him while in need.
And 5 people have drowned and 70 houses destroyed in a flood disaster in Cham, Balanga local government area of Gombe State. Emmanuel Akila reports that national and state emergency management agencies are working hard to provide immediate succor to the victims.
So far, we have more than 70 houses affected. So far, more than 5 bodies have been recovered.
As government and people, we have responsibility to resettle them immediately and urgently. I have given directives that before 12 o'clock in the afternoon, that they should bring palliatives to those people who have been affected.
And that's the news for now. Good morning, Nigeria continues with Femi and Kingsley after this break. Don't go away.
Unemployment, notably youth unemployment, features strongly in our party's manifesto. We intend to attack the problem promptly through revival of agriculture.
The 30K is going a long way. Actually, I bought an acre of land for 60K like 2012, and presently I have a cassava farm and a yam farm.
Reorganized, trained, and fully equipped, we are the new improved Nigeria Police Force. We fight crime, we bust syndicates. Whatever the crime, wherever the hideout, the Nigeria Police Force will get you busted. Stop kidnapping, armed robbery, murder, pipeline vandalism and other criminal activities. Be productive. Be security conscious. Join the police force to secure your life and property. This message is from the Nigeria Police Force Public Relations Department.
What makes a Nigerian mom powerful?
I trust the power of Dettol's One Capful for bathing. The power of Dettol's One Capful protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Be 100% sure.
You in the air-conditioned office with the itchy throat. Strepsils. Girl in the spotlight with the raspy throat. Strepsils. You in the pollution. Yes, you. Dry throat. Strepsils. Hello in the downpour with the scratchy throat. Take